Hello guys, in this video I'm going to do a quick unboxing and testing and also a comparison of this shotgun windshield and shock mount for shotgun microphones for film production, video production. I'm going to compare this to my favorite, which is the one that I got a few years ago from Rode, and I still use it. This one, the company sent it in to me. This is a DigitalFoto. After I did a review of their gimbal support system, the one for DJI Ronin S, and that actually works with it, with a few other gimbals. So that's something that like a cool accessory that I've been using. And anyways, they sent this thing into me, which normally, again, I wouldn't probably bother reviewing it because I already have one that I'm really happy with, the one from Rode. But after looking at this and seeing how much cheaper it is, I figured why not? I'll give it a try, see if it's any good. So let's open up the box. Alright, so we got the shock mount here and this thing. So this is the Blimp, and and it has the very important. It has the dead cat. That's what it's called, or some people call it different things, but it kind of looks like a dead cat. Anyways, this is something you put on when you have really extreme wind out there, and then this is the sort of main sort of windshield kind of wind protection Blimp. Now, first look, I can tell you guys, it looks. Literally looks almost identical to the one that I have from Rode. Actually, let me take the one that I have from Rode, and we can just kind of compare it quickly. Here's my favorite one, the one from Rode, like I said, and also has the dead cat. And let me take this out. This is the Blimp, and just to kind of compare it, I mean. If you were to ask me, or if I didn't even know, if this came in the box, I would think it's, like I said again, it's identical. Like this part, at least itself, is identical to the one that this company made. So wouldn't be surprised if this was actually made in the same factory or something. Here, let me also take this out so we can compare the actual shock mount. So here's the shock mount from Rode, as you can see, and it's like I said, my favorite. And this one is very, very similar. Now there are some differences. The markings are the same. What are the differences? I mean, the shock mount looks identical. So this one worked, and like I said, I've used the one from Rode on lots of film productions already, and never had any complaints. And this is again very similar. The little slide here where you actually you can adjust the distance between these the microphone basically clips is I mean, it looks almost identical. What's different? The handle is definitely different. The Rode one has a plastic handle with like this little piece of rubber on top, and then you also have this clip here, so you can loosen, so you can easily adjust the angle of the microphone. And then this thing also clips your cable here, and then you have a XLR audio cable here on the back. So that's how this looks. Now the one here from DigitalFoto, it's also a plastic handle, but it basically just looks like it's identical, same plastic handle with this thing, with the little clip. This thing is also the same for basically loosening up the slide, so you can move it up back and forth. I mean, everything looks identical except the one from Rode has like this kind of extra rubber put on the handle. This one doesn't. It's just the plastic. But it still, it feels good. Like it's easy to grip it in your hand. I've used it sometimes like this, but most of the time I end up just putting this on a Boompole, which this one has a 3/8 screw here attachment on the bottom. So you can easily put it on any standard sound Boompole. So this is how this works. And then inside here you would actually put the mic. So let me take off this mic from here. that. Alright, there it is. And sort of doing this quick test. Yeah, it looks solid, like it, you know, the mic is staying in there. It doesn't come off. It doesn't feel like it's gonna come off at all. Yet I can clearly see that the Rycote kind of here shock mount absorbs basically the vibrations, which is important. And then over that, you basically slide this, lock it, and here's maybe the big difference now I notice actually. These little knobs here for tightening basically the blimp are made from aluminum or some kind of metal. The ones here on the Rode one are plastic. You guys can see it there. So this is plastic, and that actually always bugged me too because they were like very long. So sometimes they would get in the back here where the cable sticks out. Plus this one actually looks like it's made from a better material, so that's nice. And then yeah, like I said, the blimp itself is identical, and the dead cat also looks identical. Like it has that same kind of here kind of a cord, so you can tighten it once you put it over the mic. Keep it tight. The inside of the material is identical. Again, looks almost like a copy of the one from Rode, except it's a lot cheaper. Now the ultimate way of comparing this is to actually do a sound test. So I'm gonna go outside. Hopefully there's some wind, but even if there isn't, I can just kind of show you guys how I would use this in a sort of a standard film configuration. So to test out the audio, I've got the microphone inside the blimp already. I'm using the Rode NTG4 Plus microphone, and I'm gonna do various quick tests. So right now outside there isn't really any wind really. I mean, there's sometimes a little bit of wind comes, you know, and goes. But just to kind of show you guys, I'm gonna basically just blow on the microphone and you know, just to kind of so you can hear you know how well it blocks the wind or any kind of wind that comes and hits the microphone. So you know, ideally this is a shotgun microphone. You know, you want to make sure that definitely any you know wind that kind of hits it head on is going to be stopped. So if I just blow on it, so I mean, I can hear me just blowing the air, but I cannot hear that little like low frequency rumble that usually you're gonna hear if there's no protection on the mic. And here from the side also. And yeah, I'm blowing pretty much as hard as I can, and as you can see, I've got the mic really close to me, and I can't hear any of that wind rumble, so that's good. And now, just as a comparison, I'm gonna test it out basically without the dead cat on it. Again, just kind of testing out basically how well it blocks the wind. Now, you know, keep in mind I have a heater there running in the back now, so there's some background noise, but this shouldn't still, you know, detract from, you know, you guys actually being able to hear whether there's some wind here being picked up. So I can definitely hear it here, like right away on my headphones. The wind, the kind of the little low, you know, frequency rumble is a lot more noticeable right now that the dead cat is not on there. But again, now just for the hell of it, let me take off this thing, which normally you would never do when you're outside. And now let's hear how well it resists the wind. Basically, this is the bare microphone, so it's not going to resist it. So anyways, this is how it would sound if you had nothing protecting your microphone. So as you can hear, a huge difference. Obviously, having some kind of a blimp and then preferably on top of that, a dead cat is a must, I think, whenever you're working on you're basically doing sound, especially outside on location. And next I'm going to test out the handling noise. Now part of this test obviously is going to be dependent on what kind of a Boompole you're using. I mean, I could be holding this directly the handle, but I wanted to kind of see how it works in conjunction with my favorite Boompole. Years ago I did a video about my audio setup where I actually used the Rode NTG blimp with the Boompole from Rode also. Since then, that Boompole kind of fell apart, mainly the part here where you were basically loosening these parts so you can extend the Boompole and kind of bring it in closer. So I have since switched to this one, and it's actually a lot cheaper, from Auray. Yeah, it's a good Boompole. It's carbon fiber, very light. I actually used it about a year ago in South America and like really humid weather. Also, we were out over the ocean and salty water. This thing got dipped in the water. No rust anywhere except these two little screws here that I have. This is basically where you would plug in the actual microphone. Just a little screws there that got rusted. Otherwise, you know, this thing's holding up really well. It got dropped multiple times, so I'm really happy with it. And it's, like I said, carbon fiber. It's pretty compact, so it fits in my carry-on luggage if I'm just traveling, because it's just basically this length. But it extends pretty far. So, and they have different versions with different lengths, so you guys can check that out. Link in the description. But yeah, this is kind of what I'm testing it with. So, kind of in this handling test, I want to just see how well you know, the basically the shock mount is going to be holding the microphone and kind of isolating the vibrations. So you're not going to really hear me anywhere talking here, because yeah, because I'm just going to be rotating the mic. So maybe. As you can see, it adjusts nicely. You can actually adjust the tension up here of it if you want it to be kind of more, you know, a little bit harder to, let's say, move the mic. But it is nice up here, like the, you know, with the kind of setup that I have. By the way, some of you, I know before in my previous video, were asking me how I attached my Zoom recorder, you know, and you can attach any recorder to the Boompole. I just use this little clamp arm, kind of a magic arm, so I'll provide the link again for that too. But yeah, as you can see, the handles isolates the vibrations pretty well. So you know, good all-around blimp in that sense. It holds the microphone well. And the handling noise test is very important, actually, because you'd be surprised. There's a lot of blimps out there, or, you know, these microphone kind of attachments that are, they might block, let's say, the wind, but the second you start moving the microphone around, you hear everything. You hear the, you know, the microphone basically moving in there, all the little vibrations. And obviously, when you're on an actual film set, it's important to be able to do that, because almost never you're going to be recording where you just have the boom operator holding the mic steadily in one place. Usually he has to kind of go between, you know, the actors as the, you know, one line and the other line. And here, just as a quick comparison, I threw the microphone onto the Rode, sort of my go-to, you know, microphone blimp and shock mount. This is what I use in most films. I've had this for now, I don't know, 5-6 years. Great, like I said, system. I'm really happy with it, and again, this is what I've been using so far. Never had a reason really to switch from this. Now the only thing is a couple of years ago, one of my sound guys burned, basically he was recording something at a campfire, and he put this a little bit too close to the heat source, and so the dead cat here, like the hairs on the front, got a little fried and burned off. So it's not as dense here, basically, in the front.
Basically, I was up at the cottage trying to record some audio of a campfire. A little bit of the dead cat got singed in the front here. So this is my confession. I'm responsible for that.
You're torturing a dead cat.
Yeah, I was torturing. Yeah, I was torturing a dead cat.
But anyways, this is how it sounds with it. And again, I'm gonna do the old-fashioned wind test. So I'm gonna blow some wind on it now. So yeah, maybe because now those hairs got a little singed there. Maybe that's why you can hear it, I think, a little bit more than you can with the other one. But here from the side, they weren't burnt, so let's see how it sounds here. And then this is also the handling test. Quickly, I'm going to move the mic around. And anyways, this is how the Rode Blimp and Dead Cat sound. So hopefully this gives you guys a good idea, sort of something you can compare it to, of how the new Blimp basically works. So as you guys could hear, this thing works pretty much the same as the more expensive one from Rode. So if you are looking out there for a blimp and a shock mount for your shotgun microphones, this will accept various lengths. Then yeah, I guess this is one of the ones I can recommend. So you know, especially since, like I said, the same results. I mean, it looks almost identical as the more expensive Rode, which, by the way, at the time of this video, it costs the Rode one costs $300. This one is $180. So yeah, big difference. Though maybe they'll even offer some kind of sale or something for the latest prices. As always, just check the links in the description of this video. And if you guys want more info about this or the other Rode microphone, blimp, shotgun mount, or even the microphone that I used in this, then check out my website, as always, tomantosfilms.com. And if you want to help support me, then join me on Patreon. Anyways, that's it for this video. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.